You're locked into Blue SNOT, the Leafs playoff pulse in real time. This ain't the same soft squad from years past. These Leafs are hard-hitting, shot-blocking, sandpaper strong, and built for the grind. Defensive tone-setting swagger locking it down. This team fights back. And the crease, a stellar duo of flashing leather. Strong forecheck, no free ice. Watch what happens when the big guns get loose. The playoffs are here, and the question isn't if they're tough enough. It's how deep this grit can take them. Let the snot drip.
You know, we need a little bit more snot to our game. I think they both bring a little bit of that. So we felt it was a good day yesterday. I think there's a, you know, when you get into, as much as the game's changed, some things have never changed. At the most important times, the rink shrinks. There's no space. You need courage, and we wanted to, you know, we wanted to add players like that. We've got really high level, and I think we've got a ton of them in this room. You need character in your team, and sometimes you need some characters. You know, it's not all fighting and all the rest of it, but I just felt, you know, both on the ice and in our room and around our team, we need a little bit more noise.
The past is the past. This is a different group. Every year there's new people. Every year you've got experiences from, you know, the year past. So that's what we're focused on right now. We're focused on this group of players, things that we've done here this year, and all that now gets parked. You know, you say at the beginning of the season, everybody starts from zero. Same thing now. Everything that's happened in the 82 games is to prepare you for what's coming next. But none of it is relevant. And none of it gives you any kind of leg up starting Sunday. So what's happened before is what's happened before, and now we're ready to let a new chapter.
Blue SNOT. Go Leafs Go. Live remix. It is game 6. How are we feeling? What are the vibes we're feeling? Leafs Nation. It seems like a lot of fans are nervous. They're worried about the choke. That's the narrative they want to sell. Today is the day the Leafs can turn that all around, face their demons, and pull them out of hell. Game 6, the Leafs have a 3-2 series lead, one away from crushing the Sens' hopes. Is it going to be a choke or killer instant? We're about to find out. Puck drops around the corner. Let's tune in.
When they didn't score, they seem to accept it. But I need them to find another gear if they run into that again where they're having trouble scoring. Play harder, don't back off.
Yeah, and I assume you're looking at the big boys when you talk about that, right? I like what the fourth line did, right? Lorenz, Lawton, Yarncroc, I thought they did pretty well. Dump the puck in and crash and bang on the boards, get opportunities. It's the top 6, it's the big boys, that core 4 that have continued to fade in these closeout games. You need them to step up tonight. Absolutely crucial that they play one of the best games in the postseason of their careers, because there's a big-time circle on those guys tonight, and they need to come up big for the Buds.
Absolutely. Game 6 minutes away. This is Wolves and Canadian Leafs Hockey on TSN 1050, the iHeartRadio app, and the link.
The Kentucky Derby is here, and VSiN is covering all the action with a live show Saturday beginning at 4 p.m. Eastern. I'm Mike Savage. Join me and Aaron Halterman for a special live edition of VSiN at the Track. We'll give you the latest news, handicap the race, and give you our best bets, plus interviews with guests like legendary announcer Dave.
are tuned into Blue Snot. Go Leafs Go Live Remix. We just hang out, catch the game together. Throw up a Go Leafs Go in the chat. I don't think the last two games are going to be a reflection of what these Leafs can do. The building's going to be loud. There's going to be a lot of Sens fans in the house. Obviously, it's their arena. I think they did a better job of keeping the Leafs fans out than the last couple games. That's not going to stop the blue and white from bringing the snot. If they bring that grit, play their D, play their game, the big guns will get their chances. They have to limit their mistakes. None of these shorthanded goals and bad passes can't get caught. Every puck, get on every puck, every forecheck. We're gonna need some fluke shots, since just send them from the top. Get some men in the front. The big guns are gonna have to come out. And for the Sens, well, they're just gonna lay it all on the line again. It's gonna be an exciting one. Strap in, keep it tuned in. Get ready. Face off coming up soon. We're about to drop the puck. Blue Snot. Go Leafs Go. Live. Remix.
Game 6, trying to end the series in 6 games, leading it 3-2. And the face-off is going to be brought to you by Alpine Credits. You own your own home and need a loan, Alpine Credits can help. Get approved at Alpine Credits. Anthony Stolarz sets a new personal best. 6 straight starts, including all of the postseason for the Maple Leafs. 2.25 is goals against average, 8.99. Save percentages drop. Linus Olmark is 2-3, 2.80, and his save percentage has increased at 8.83, including a 4-0 shutout in game number 5.
Hey,
so
Willie, don't be lazy today.
Tough. They know
Put
that,
your fucking
but
big
they
boy
are
pants on.
very much in the driver's seat as they have the Ottawa Senators down 3-2. We're ready for the opening face-off. They're at center ice, the Leafs to the right, and the Ottawa Senators are to the left.
I want to hear the Leafs fans.
As Francis Charon leans in and he drops the puck right away. I'm glad you're along with us. Leafs get to send it down into Ottawa territory. Olmark playing it back on the boards and nines with a pretty good hit as it goes back with an in for Martin. Martin back around the boards and comes out in front. Nines couldn't get a shot away. And now Matthews diligently working on at center ice finally by Ottawa. Shot right back in again by Brandon Carlo of the Maple Leafs. Puck comes around the boards and out into the center ice area. Ridley Gregg gets it in across the line for the Ottawa Senators. Pinto trying to get it in around the boards. And McCabe has it now, getting it up on the right side for Tanev. Tanev, a pass on the near wing, chipped along the boards to the line, but it won't clear. And it's back in now, courtesy of Brady Tkachuk into the Leaf end. John Tavares given a bump there by Giroux. Got it out in center, but it is shot right back in again. Stolars couldn't slow it up, but McCabe gets it back to the net for Tanev. Around on the wall, it'll be deflected out, and here's Tavares. Down the right wing boards and into the slot area. Had it taken off his stick on a pretty good defensive play made along the wall by Giroux. Puck back at the Toronto blue line. Benoit sending the puck down into the Ottawa zone. Knocked down on the play was Clevin. Puck in along the end boards. Leafs fourth line out there. Lawton trying to get it in front. Lorenz has pried it free.
See this fourth line pressure on that forecheck and on that puck.
Back of the net. Played out into the center ice area to the far wing. Oliver Ekman-Larsson got there to have it forced in. And now Batherson trying to get a hit in but fails. And Benoit quickly gets it ahead and it's deflected down into Ottawa territory. Pretty good pace here in the early going.
You really get the feeling the first goal of this game is going to be huge.
Played down into the Toronto end. Carlos sending it around the boards to the far side, and it's punched down into Ottawa territory. Here's Bobby McMahon getting to it. McMahon coming out in front, and that was stopped by Ullmark, and it's gone up into the screen. The linesman picked off one of the Ottawa defenders, and Bobby McMahon gets the first decent scoring chance and the first shot on goal.
Well, it was Jake Sanderson who seemed to get held up by the official right in front of the Ottawa bench, and that allowed Bobby McMahon to pick the puck up at the right wing boards and just take it to the net. And I'm not sure if Ullmark got a piece of this or McMahon, a bit of a rolling puck as he drove to the front of the goal.
And Bobby McMahon was looked to be a possibility of a player that was going to shine in the postseason, but he's still looking for his first goal. Puck in the center ice area for Nyes. Now to Matthews. Matthews got it to the line, but couldn't get it in over the line. Marner knocks his man down from behind, and Brandon Carlo gets to it on the far side, and it's played into the near corner now for Morgan Riley. Riley sending it quickly up the boards, but cut off. Brought in again by the Senators into the corner for Pinto. Around back of the net, but Carlo is there first. Carlo, with his size, just takes it away and plays it gingerly up out at center ice on the near wing to allow a change of players. Zub getting it back, up on the wing to the line, batted back out at center and down into Ottawa territory. Played up on the wing by Shabbat. That goes down into the Leaf end. Stolar's out of the goal to leave it for Tanev, who got it up on the wing for Nylander. The birthday boy comes to center, flips it in on the right side, and now here's Pacioretty getting it out in front of the net, but no one there to do any damage. Pacioretty after it, but now around on the near wing, it'll come to Shabbat. Behind the goal in the Ottawa zone, Jensen gets it up on the wing, and out come the Senators. Stützle on the wing for Shabbat, blocked there nicely by Benoit. In against the boards, Pacioretty ties his man up, but he's over here on the left wing side, and now back behind the net. It comes up on the wing, and now Pacioretty has it at center. He's going to shoot it into the Ottawa end. We had a stoppage of play yet? Oh, just the one shot, right? Went up into the screen. Brought out at center ice now by Mantempalo. The Senators get it down into the Leaf end. Down on the boards, backhanded by Cousins. Blocked there. Carlo playing it back at the goal. Morgan Riley in the near corner. Got it ahead. And it is set out at center ice, but it's intercepted by Cousins, and he shoots it back into the Leaf end. Riley plays it back up on the left wing boards, but unable to get it out on that side was Lorenz, and then a hit by Riley takes down one of the Ottawa players. That has the fans up in arms a little bit. Not as many Leaf fans, I would think, in the building tonight. On a Tuesday evening, down into the Toronto zone, a running hit there by Zetterlund, but the Leafs get it out for McCabe. He's in across the line. Dropping now for Holmberg and a shot. Big rebound in front, and Domi couldn't get a stick on it. Sent back along the boards then by Tanev, but it is pushed out at center ice by Ottawa. Pontus Holmberg got it ahead and played in over the line for McMahon, but out of his reach. Ullmark flips it around the boards to the far wing, and the Senators will carry to center ice, and Shane Pinto gets it into the Toronto zone. Leafs have had the first 2 shots on goal as it's played out at center ice. Onto the wing now for Oliver Ekman-Larsson. Back to the net for Matthews. Matthews curls into the far corner. Sends it towards the net and went off a body and wide. Played off the boards and out at center ice. Here are the Senators back in their own zone. Montepallo getting it off now for Clevin. Clevin gets it ahead on the wing for Shane Pinto. Pinto hits the line just onside. Shot was blocked. Marner couldn't handle it. Now he does, and gets it to Matthews, who looks up ice and gets it ahead for Nyes. Nyes had it knocked off his stick, but Riley's into the rush. Riley centers, and Marner couldn't get a stick on it. Marner against the boards for Matthews. Back of the net, tries to center. Looking there for Tavares coming off the bench. And the Senators have it, and Stützle trying to break it out at center. Dishes it back to his defense. Jensen shoots it in. Shot from a sharp angle. That is handled by Stolars. It goes into the corner. Back to the point. Just kept in there. Played around the boards now by Ottawa. Chopped at by the Leafs, but not cleared. Played around to the far wing. Nylander getting there first. Tries to play it off and does. And a long lead pass. Gets ahead now for Pacioretty. And his shot goes up into the screen. And we introduce the other half of the broadcasting crew, Mr. James Brown.
Yeah, I was one that spoke a little earlier in the broadcast.
Oh, I wasn't paying attention.
I know. Thank God I was.
Well, I can't have you on anymore. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on TSN 1050.
Sirius XM Patriot, Channel 125, marks President Trump's first 100 days of his second term.
First commercial break. So far, the Leafs have come out with a lot of offensive pressure. A couple of shots. The fourth line has had a couple of strong shifts. Holmberg has looked strong so far. Tavares, Matthews, and Marner are trying to generate. It's a good start. A couple flaky passes, we can hold back on those. That would be appreciated, because we don't have to pay for some bad passes. Keep the start up. We need to see some more on this offensive side. Generate some more chances and find a way to put one in the net. Go Leafs, go. You are tuned into Blue Snot. Go Leafs, go live. Remix.
Just nicely underway.
I do believe they've taken a shot away from the Leafs. So Bobby McMahon, Joe, I think that was the one that was taken off the board.
All right. Puck back to the Ottawa goal. Scramble there, but it's cleared into the corner, and Sanderson starts up on the near wing. Got it through center and in over the line for Gregg. Ridley, Gregg is in, and that was stopped by goaltender Stolars. And Nyes takes it back at center ice and gets it down into Ottawa territory. First scoring chance there for Ottawa. And Stolars comes up big.
Well, you don't like that coming off the Matthews group 5-on-5.
Anderson getting it out at center. Played to the far wing and in. Here's Stützle into the slot area. And that went off the skate of McCabe and went wide of the goal. Leafs get it out into the center ice area, but Stutzla sends it right back in again. McCabe run at by Kachuk, and then Tanev turns the tables on Giroux and nails him into the boards. Tanev working the wall, but can't come up with it. Out of the corner, Giroux. Back to the point to Nick Jensen. Over to Giroux again. Back to Shabbat. A bad shot, and is there a penalty?
Sounds like it.
Well, when you hear that stupid music in this arena, it usually means the Leafs are going to the penalty box.
Well, the Sens have been amping up the pressure since the break.
Corner to the right of Stolarz.
It's working in their favor.
He's still of no indication. Stolarz had the best save of the period for him, Ridley Gray.
Showing the two scoring chances, but was Tavares a high stick on Giroux? Yep, all right.
Pretty good sales job.
So the Leafs are a man short. Penalty kill brought to you by Alpine Credits. You own your own home and need a loan. Oh, excuse me. Penalty kill brought to you by CMC Markets. Take your trading to the next level with $0 commission on stocks.
John Tavares is saying I probably should have just elbowed him in the face.
Yeah.
Got away with it.
Everybody seems to be getting away with that these days. Leafs send it up the boards and then clear to the line, but not out. Here's Sanderson. In along the left wing board. Stutzla getting it back to Sanderson. He walks into the slot with a wrist shot. That didn't make it through. Tanev takes his man to the boards, and so does McCabe, and he got it freed up for Marner, and Marner sends it all the way down the ice on goal, and Ullmark will clear it into the corner. Minute 30 to go in the power play. Scoreless here in the first period. Brought out of the zone by Stutzla. Tim Stutzla to the line, had it deflect off his skate, had it corralled now by the Maple Leafs, and Steven Lorenz will bounce a shot down on goal, and in around back of the net is Lawton coming out of it. Lawton will send it around into the far corner. There's Yarncrook. Yarncrook trying to protect it. Yarncrook stick handles it back into the neutral zone, and the Leafs are going to play with it a little bit, and it's going to be deflected ahead, and now Yarncrook has it again. Yarncrook playing it back to the Toronto blue line. Benoit getting it back again from his defense partner, and now he sends it out and down the ice, and that ate up the better part of 25 seconds. So it'd be like 21 seconds. Well, maybe 22.
Strong shift in the fourth line on the penalty tip.
You're not helping at all. Down into the corner, it goes into the Toronto zone. They bank it off the boards, push to the line, out at center, nice breaking, nice down the left wing, a little stutter step in the backhand. Didn't get much on it though, and Ullmark an easy save, but a great rush nonetheless by Matthew Nyes. A dozen seconds left in the penalty now.
It's a good try, Nyesy.
Ottawa territory. Leafs have not scored a shorthanded goal in the series. Played up on the right wing now for Zetterlund. A shot juggled, knocked away by Stolarz. Played up on the wing, and Marner got it to Tavares, who's out of the penalty box, and he'll send it down into the offensive end. Marner goes in after it with a hit on the boards. Has it in his skates, but can't kick it to Tavares, as Sanderson has dug it out. Sanderson will get it out in center ice. That's turned over. Leafs have to tag up, and now here's Zub getting it up on the right wing boards, but not in. Riley is there to launch it right back into Ottawa territory. Tavares being hooked onto there by Zub. Should have dragged the stick up around his face and got a penalty. Now brought out by Zub in over the line for Stutzla. Stutzla is nailed and knocked down by Jake McCabe. And out comes Pat Chiarelli. Up ahead for Willie. Nylander in over the line. Into the slot. Passes off on the wing. Trying to get it back. Nylander in on goal. They get way at it and they shot it wide from right on the doorstep.
How?
Willie's got to shoot that puck.
You guys know where the net is? Put it in the net.
Shabbat playing it around the boards. 9 minutes to go in the period. Leafs have it at their own blue line. Pushed up on the wing by Pontus Holmberg. One-handed to the line, but not in. Now the Leafs almost had too many men on the ice, but an adroit move by the defenseman to jump back onto the bench prevented that. Puck was right at the Toronto blue line. Leafs come away with a loose puck. Benoit winding and shooting, and it's off the stick of Ullmark and up into the screen, out of play.
You're right. The Willie Nylander's got the puck to the right of Ullmark and tries to go back the other way.
Yeah.
Almost works. Ullmark got his pad on the first one, and then I think it was Max Domi. No,
Hit the post.
it was
Pacioretty, I think, wasn't it?
Pacioretty that got the second rebound and put it off the post and out the other side.
No score. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on TSN 1050 and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
Wow. Wow. Did they like both hit the post? Looked like Pacioretty hit the post. And then Domi either hit the post or a stick or sent it through the crease. Let's see if we can cash that on a replay. So here's the first one. Pacioretty swings it through, the Domi tries to get it. Patches off the post, Domi, they don't show it, just wide. It's a close one, you gotta keep at it. Be nice if they can put one of those open net aways, though. One of those open net shots, put it away. That's what I meant to say. How y'all feeling? We nervous? We excited? We hyped? Hit up the chat with a Go Leafs Go. You are turned into Blue Snot. Go Leafs Go Live remix.
In Game 6. And these two teams know who they will host or travel to in the next round as the Florida Panthers dismissed, and I mean dismissed, Tampa Bay Lightning. The Lightning were one of the hottest teams down the stretch. Florida was riddled with injuries and played very sporadically. How the Leafs win the draw, pass in front of the net, batted in front of the goal, and unable to get a backhander away there was the Leafs in front of the net with Pacioretty. Nylander can't get it away from Giroux, sends it in. Out of the net, Stolarz to play into the far corner, and it is Oliver Ekman-Larsson getting it ahead for Benoit. Benoit shoots it in. Slowed up by Ullmark, ripped around the boards, it'll come out at center, and breaking with it is Stützle. Stützle in on the left wing side with a shot. That deflected and went wide of the net. It comes up on the near wing. Leafs unable to get to it. Nylander does, but it's played back to the point. Kept in by Ottawa. Far side, Clevin can't get a shot. Curls back. Still with it as a new defenseman on now as it goes to Montepallo. Montepallo working around back of the net. Sends a shot to the goal, and Stolarz come across.
Boy.
Actually, the proper English would have been came across and caught that and held it for a face-off.
You know what happened? Ottawa just got away with a holding the stick penalty. Chris Tanev tries to go to the far post, and his stick, David Perron, has got it clamped under his arm. And Tanev turned to the official as if to say, are we paying attention here? And that led to a scoring opportunity, Joe.
7:44 left to play in the first period. 6-4 the shots favoring Toronto. And the face-off is in the Leafs zone to the right.
Go Leafs.
And
Go.
the draw won by Lawton, and it's cleared out and down into Ottawa territory. Montepallo taken to the boards by Lorenz. Puck along the boards, broken up by the Leafs who keep it in. Far side, Carlo a shot, and it's into the chest of Ullmark as this fourth line continues to be absolutely excellent.
They're looking, the fourth line's looking like
defensive zone face-off, right?
the fourth line's looking like it did in the first couple games.
Zone.
I like that.
They're able to keep it in and get a scoring
On the
opportunity
puck,
out of it.
on the forecheck.
Just misses the waist-high redirection attempt. But now they go to the bench. And you put out
Matthews, who knocked a puck on the near boards, but Nyes couldn't get to it. Puck at the Leaf blue line now, and Riley starting back with a pass up on the right wing, kicked off the skate of Marner, but it was from the wrong side of the center ice red line, and an icing call is coming here. It was a clever little play by Marner to try and redirect it to one of his teammates, but he needed to be another foot closer to the Ottawa end of the rink. So a defensive zone face-off now for Austin Matthews. The draw scrummed. Leafs come away with it. Marner breaks out at center. He'll chip it in this time just to get it in over the line. Played back, and Marner steals it back. Couldn't get it in front of the net. And out come the Senators now as they break up on the left wing. And Ridley Gregg gets it down into the corner. Riley punching it back up on the wall. Off a skate. Puck comes to the near wing. Matthews trying to get there. It's cleared back into the corner to the side of the goal. Quickly sliced into the corner then by Stolarz. Back of the net, Matthews playing to the far side, but no one over there. It'll come around to the near side. Nye slow to get there. It goes to the other side, and Marner just stayed there.
Puck's in the wrong end of the ice, guys.
And Matthews comes to center. Matthews is going to flip it towards the net. It is caught by goaltender Ullmark rather easily. And that brings an offensive zone face-off with 6:28 to go in a scoreless first period. Leafs with 6 of the 9 shots on goal.
Leafs did score the opening goal in the first 3 games of this series. Or no, I guess just the first 2. What I'm thinking of now. The first 2 at home, they obviously opened the scoring.
And closed the scoring in overtime.
Sens suck. Sens suck.
3. Senators win this face-off, and a long lead pass has gone down into the Leaf end. Stolarz playing to Benoit. Benoit's pass was blocked. It goes back to the net. Domi getting it freed up for Ekman-Larsson. Off on the wing, and it is going to be punched out at center ice, and Holmberg will roll it down into Ottawa territory. McMahon with a good hit to free up the puck. Tried to get it in front. It's gone high. Too high. Too high. Too high. Run into the crowd. Face-off coming in the Ottawa zone.
And on game 3, it was going back to who scored first. Remember, Claude Giroux scored the power play goal from a high slot before Matthew Nyes tied on a power play goal. Matthews gave the Leafs the 2-1 lead early in the third. But anyway, yeah, the Leafs scored the opening goal in the first 2, but Ottawa struck first in the last 3 games of this series.
6 minutes to play in the period. And the draw scrum by the Leafs, and now Nylander circles into the slot, got a weak shot away, and it was partially blocked anyway, and the Senators get it out at center. Nylander now forced to play defense here as a pass comes into the side of the goal, and it's turned away as Stützle couldn't come up with it. Cleared out at center by Pacioretty. Launched high, back into the Toronto zone. Canada, back pass for McCabe, and McCabe starts out with a pass out at center to Nylander. Nylander launches it high, bouncing puck that Tavares can't get to. Pacioretty into the corner with a hit. Looked like Tavares got spun off his skates, and now Shabbat settling things down as both teams are taking the opportunity to change. 5:17 to play in a scoreless first period. Shabbat with the puck in his own zone. Really, for the first time in this series, the Senators are experiencing a little bit of pressure. They had got in, and it was a big story just to get in. Now, all of a sudden, a chance to send this to a Game 7, and they have the pressure of home ice and that activity already as well. Nyes can't get the puck out. Riley does, sends it high to the far wing. No one there, and the Senators play it back out at center ice. And Zub will have to regroup it as it comes back into Ottawa territory. Zub, a pass through neutral ice. That went off a body to the side of the goal. Tucked around back of the net by Stolarz. Played around back of the net, but it is Lawton getting there first for Toronto. And he's going to airmail a high pass to center ice. Knocked down by the Senators, and Clevin shoots it back in. Round on the boards, Stolarz thought that was icing, and had a word with the linesman as it's played into the far corner. Oliver Ekman-Larsson runs into a traffic jam. It comes back to the point. Long shot, rolling in front of the net, knocked into the corner. Lorenz taking it to the boards, now trying to pin it there. Still has it in his skates, looking for an outlet, but the Sens dig it free. They get it back on the wing. Trying to come out with it is Cadet. Cadet back to the point. Long shot coming, and it's high and wide of the goal. On the near boards, Yarncrook couldn't get to it. Lorenz has it now on the far wing, and he gets it airmailed to center ice, and then takes a piece out of the forechecker who came at him after the fact. Both teams are changing. Senators lift it right back in with Clevin getting it in deep.
3:33 remaining.
Can't see how much time's left. There's a graphic on. 3:19 left to play in the period now. McCabe around back of the goal. His backhand pass comes out. Domi tried to kick it to the zone and is successful in doing so. A hit there along the boards. Pontus Holmberg after it. So's Bobby McMahon. McMahon had the best scoring chance the Leafs have had. Knocked down on the play was Holmberg. It comes back from Domi into his corner, though. He tries to reverse it for McMahon. McMahon curls up, tried to reverse it again, but it was cut off there by Cousins. Cousins can't get it out. Domi knocks it in a little deeper. Now Shabbat turns with it. And Shabbat, with time, is able to lift it out at center. Senators can't get to the red line. And the Maple Leafs have control, and they're getting a change going in Nylander. Skates it back in over the line on the left wing. Willie looking with a pass in front of the net for Tavares. And it was knocked away, and out comes Stützle. Stützle for Tkachuk. Tkachuk into the slot, back for Stützle, and he missed the pass and crashes into the end boards. Leafs don't get it out, though, and now they'll play it to center ice. Good scoring chance there for Ottawa. Pass by Riley, up ahead for Tavares. Tavares to the right wing side, Brandon Carlos shoots it in. Down the boards is Nyes. Crowd reacting to something that we cannot see because the camera is not on it. Oh, it's Brady Tkachuk going to the bench. And the coach is a little upset. Something must have happened in the collision with Brandon Carlo.
Yeah, it must have been a late hit by Tkachuk. Travis Green doesn't like it. Interference is going to be the call, so the Leafs will go to their first power play.
Ooh. Can we see a replay?
We apologize. We can't see the officials with their arms up to let you know that there's a delayed penalty coming, even if it's late, which it was there.
Boy, it was really late. The puck was already around behind the net into the far corner when Tkachuk laid the hit on Carlo. Leafs power play when we come back.
Do the best we can. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on TSN 1050.
A place in the UEFA Champions League.
Well. What do we have here? A late hit by Tkachuk, sending the Leafs to the power play late in the period. It's game 6. Both teams have showed a bit of pressure, more so on Toronto's end. But Ottawa's had a couple chances that have looked scary. Toronto's had a couple chances, and now they're about to go on the power play and see if they can generate something here. This is an important moment. Can they capitalize? Will they take advantage of the opportunity presented before them and be able to take a lead into the intermission? Now, what I must stress is smart plays and not getting caught with another shorthanded goal. Play smart, guys. Get her done. It's possible. Just gotta believe. You were tuned in to Blue Snack Go Leafs Go live remix.
And experience all the features that come standard in a Subaru. Cleared down the ice off the face-off win by Ottawa. Marner starts out. Again going. Oh, and a giveaway almost, but no. Matthews is able to settle it down, but a bouncing puck to his left. Comes in over the line. Now to Nyes. Nyes on the near boards trying to free it up. He can't. And it's out at center ice for Greg, but he can't get free either. Now Matthews back in over the line with a pass to Nylander on the right wing. Nylander with a pass into the slot area that was knocked away. Tavares is able to keep it alive. Gives it off to Nylander and now to Matthews. Near circle, back into the slot. Top of the circle, back to Matthews. Matthews with a pass and scores! That was just a pass for Matthew Knies, and I think it makes the back of the net. And the Leafs
And they score!
with a power play goal.
Austin Matthews.
0 for 6 on the power play coming into this game, having given up a couple of short-handed goals. But Austin Matthews, Joe, this is how they were successful earlier in the series. Get the puck to the net with traffic in front. And yeah, this is not a blast. It's from the high slot.
He's looking for a deflection from Knies.
And Matthews just slides it, blocker side, along the ice with Knies in front. And Allmark, you can tell by the reaction, doesn't pick it up. And the Leafs have opened the scoring in Ottawa.
Isn't the mark 0 for 30 somewhere in here, Mr. Ralph?
Oh, yeah, certain games.
Yes. In games that they had a chance to eliminate the opponent, they've gone 0 for 30 on the power play. Well, that ends here. And the Leafs own a 1-0 lead. Cousins gets it to the Leaf blue line. Knocked back there by the Leafs. And now Lorenz, with time on his hands, is able to lift it down with less than a minute to go in the period. Montepallo has it around back of the Ottawa goal. Marner draws the lone assist on the Matthews tally. And the Maple Leafs own the lead with 26 seconds to go in the period. Pass deflects into the corner on the far side in the Leaf end. Ripped around the boards then by Toronto and deflected out and down into Ottawa territory. Tavares hustling down to get a hit in on Shabbat. Spun around for Nick Jensen. Tavares trying to dig it free or just hold it there. 6 seconds left in the period. Comes back, and it's gone by everybody. It's going to go down into the Leaf end. And Stolars will come out to play it to eliminate the remainder of time. Austin Matthews from Mitch Marner on the power play. It's 1-0 Toronto.
Yeah, the benefit of Ottawa getting the first power play, you kill that off. Ottawa didn't like the call, but it was Brady Tkachuk trying to finish the check, but way late on Brandon Carter that set up.
Imagine that. Ottawa didn't like the call.
And really, Joe, when you look at it again from a defensive standpoint, just 3 shots on goal by the Senators. They had a couple. The one Stutzla going to the net. Missed the redirection on a 2-on-1. Was their best scoring opportunity, but you like the way the Leafs really just looked after their own end first and were able to take advantage of the man advantage a little later. Austin
Matthews, who is no stranger to goal scoring in Ottawa, has got the Leafs on the board here in Game 6, 1-0. Michael DeStefano is joining Jim Taddy with our intermission. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on TSN.
Well. Seeing situations like this, it's important to remember how things can so quickly shift. One mistake turns into a penalty for a dangerous power play to happen. I know the power play hasn't looked dangerous the past couple of games, but it only needs one chance, and it got it. And I said it's going to have to be a dirty one. Matthews was trying to get that over to Knies, and it just found a way into the net on a pass. We need it. We'll take it. Obviously, the Sens are mad at the penalty. Why wouldn't they be? They're mad at everything. It seems to be their strong point, getting angry. The pressure's on them now. Can they find their way back into the game? Or will the Leafs find a way to not choke, but instead put a choke hold on their opponent? 1-0. First intermission. You were tuned in to Go Leafs Go. live, remix. Get up, have a stretch, rehydrate, get a snack. Don't forget to come right back.
By Brady Tkachuk late in the first period, and Toronto capitalizes, right? Austin Matthews notices Allmark maybe peeking the wrong way, decides I'm going to shoot this short side, see if we can thread the needle, and he sure did, and Leafs up 1-0 heading into the frame.
Yeah, special teams, because on the Leafs penalty kill, Ottawa, there was a miscommunication between the goaltender Allmark and his defenseman, cost him a goal 45 seconds. And on the Leafs power play, Marner almost gave it away coming out of the zone. That was scary. I mean, that was so nonchalant. It was like, whoa, guy, wake up. And then they go down and eventually score. So, I mean, there's the sway. Two things that favored the Leafs, and 1-0 is the lead, out shooting Ottawa 7-3. But both teams had some coulda, woulda, shoulda, but didn't opportunities before that.
Yeah, I mean, the Tim Stützle opportunity on the 3-on-2, really good job of Jake Sanderson jumping up into the rush to create the odd man rush for them, and Stützle just couldn't corral it, wasn't able to really get a shot off. It kind of rolls off the end of his stick, and if he would have got any type of elevation on that shot, there was about 80% of the net he could have hit to open up the scoring, but the Leafs get a good bounce, wasn't able to corral it. It goes into the corner, and Toronto able to get the puck out, and they did that a lot in this period. They didn't allow Ottawa to really set up anything offensively. The Leafs did a good job of forcing Ottawa to dump pucks in. They stayed on top of them, and they got pucks out of the zone. That's exactly what they need to do. Just limit the chances, limit the opportunities, win those board battles, and get the puck out and try and spend a little more time in the offensive end. I thought they did that in the first period.
And how about the start? I mean, the first 15 minutes of that period, real rough and tumble. Very fast. Both teams had all kinds of energy and some great hits.
Yeah, there was some really good pace to that opening kind of 10 minutes of the game, and both sides with a couple of scoring opportunities. Pacioretty, I thought, was gonna score there. He was hits the post, but that's exactly what you heard everyone talking about going into this Game 6, right? What do they need to do to try and score more goals? They didn't get any in Game 5, so they wanted to attack the net. And I think they've done that. They attacked the net, they shot, and they tried to get rebounds. Pacioretty gets a rebound opportunity, gets a shot, beat the goaltender, but couldn't beat the post, and it remained goalless. But again, going to the net, Matthew Nyes on the power play provides the screen, and that allows, Olmark to try to have to peek his way into finding where Matthews was going with the puck. And when he peeked left, Matthews went right, and that really was kind of the difference.
I don't know about you, but when we got to about the 13-minute mark, I could feel the energy sort of leave both teams.
Hold up. I gotta hear this story.
I thought, well, probably a score.
I gotta hear the story going on the television.
Maybe crossed the line a little bit. Ridley Gregg did it late in the game in Game 5, and Toronto wasn't able to.
For Toronto. This is the official roster report. Number 92, Alexander Nylander, Willie's brother, is listed, and Willie is listed as a scratch. Now, Rule 5.1 is, before the game, if an on or off ice official notices, which clearly somebody did, you can go to the team and say, we are going to allow you to make the correction. You can fix that here. But if the puck had dropped and the game had started and nobody had noticed this, Willie Nylander could have been removed from the game. There isn't a penalty for that. It's only if you get the starting lineup wrong that there's a penalty, but Willie Nylander could have been removed from the game.
The starting lineup...
Does that mean his brother could have played?
Literally, our video coach says it to one coach, he reads the whole number and guy, okays it. He goes to a second coach, same thing. Feels like overkill, number, name, and go. And then the third time after lineup, he says it to me, and I have to say okay before he hits it. So obviously they got the name wrong today. It could have been a disaster.
That's a bit of a bonehead mistake.
To capitalize, and we knew if they
Might have
got
worked in
another
our favor,
opportunity
though.
where someone makes a boneheaded play, that's exactly what that. Like Brady Tkachuk, you need to know like that puck is long gone for Brandon Carlo. You are going to get called if you dump someone on their butt, and that's exactly what ends up happening. In Toronto, there are a lot of talk going into this game. 0 for 30 on power play opportunities in their last in closeout games, elimination games, and they made sure that they made good on that one, and they are now broke that streak, and they're 1 for 1 to this point in their last power play.
The book is closed on 0 for 30. It's now 1 for 1. I really liked how the Leafs played. I liked how they played in their zone. As you say, they kept them to the outside for the most part. I think that, when we go back to all the pregame sound we had, they pretty well followed the game plan, didn't they?
100%. And that's what they had to do, right? They definitely had to do that. You look, they only gave up 2 high danger chances throughout the game. Toronto outshot them 7-3 through the first 20 minutes and only gave up really 1 glorious opportunity, I would say, and that was the Stützle chance on the 3-on-2. Outside of that, Ottawa didn't really muster up a whole lot, and you hope that Toronto can keep up that type of play for another 40 minutes.
And there's that Craig Berube calmness about, and how the Leafs have played this year, waiting for the opportunity, not hanging back, but seizing the opportunity when it presents itself. Obviously, it didn't work in Game 5, but so far it's working well in Game 6.
It certainly is. And here's a stat for you, Jimmy. The Leafs, 34-8-2 this season when they scored first. The Senators, 10-24-7 when they got scored on first. So Toronto, the key to the game was to get the first goal and make them play catch-up. They did that. Now they got to close it down the final 40.
Yeah, plenty of hockey left. 1-0 Leafs over Ottawa after 20 minutes of play. This is Molson Canadian Leafs Hockey.
Yep. Still got a lot of game left, but it's a good start. Strong play from the fourth line. A couple of the top players seem to have their legs going. They're getting hard on the pucks. Got to watch those sloppy passes, though, and still keep a smart game going. finally breaking the streak of not being able to score a power play goal in elimination games. Let's break another one. Let's win this elimination game and put the Senators out of the playoffs and welcome Florida to the next round. This is Blue Snot Go Leafs Go Live remix. Face-off's coming up in a few minutes. Ooh, get ready.
Of the Winnipeg Jets, Kevin Chevel, day off. What would finishing first overall mean to the organization, Kevin?
Well, I think anytime that you can finish in an area where you're getting recognized, it's special. But again, the important thing for us is process. Is when we buy into playing the way we need to play, then we feel comfortable that we'll win more games than not. Then you let the chips fall where they may.
Weekdays, 3 p.m. Eastern on any channel network radio. Sirius XM 91 and the Sirius XM app. Liverpool.
Second intermission, puck drop. Can the Leafs continue the pressure? Find out as we continue continue the live remix. Go Leafs Go.
Thanks to a power play goal on a very strange shot that I'm going to suggest that if I saw it, I would probably be able to have stopped that. All right, maybe not. But anyway,
You would have seen it.
I would have seen it, and I would have, yes. But having said that, it was not an Austin Matthews shot. It was an attempted deflection for Matthew Nyes that he does not deflect, and it literally slides into the net. Just
Yeah, I was with you and watching it. We're thinking, like, what just happened? Did he foul on it almost? And I think what happened, and when you saw Omar, and then one replay where he looks to his left of Matthew Nyes,
which pulls his pad away from the post.
and it goes to his right. But Matthews drops his shoulder. And I think, based on the angle of his stick at that point, Omar's thinking either he's shooting far side or he's trying for the redirection by John Tavares, who's off the back post. And instead, and maybe it was a fan by Matthews, Matthews almost looked like he changed his mind as he was delivering it to the goal. And it seemed to go off the toe of his stick and just slid short side, posted in.
Think Steven Lorenz could have done that? Just say.
No.
No, because the goal scorers get things like this happen to them, right? And from partially blocking that, Nylander does. He's in. Nylander with the shot. He scores! Willie
I knew something wasn't right with my audio feed, so I had to switch it up just in time to get the goal.
Morgan Riley starts it out of the zone. Nylander tips it inside the Ottawa blue line, and I believe it's Nick Jensen, Joe, that has trouble handling it. And Max Pacioretty is able to knock it loose, and it goes onto the stick of Willie Nylander. And boy, Nylander puts this far side, blocker side, over the right pad, just under the blocker. You talk about goal scorers' goals. Yeah, we've seen two of them.
So it is 2-0 Toronto very early here in the second period. Leafs with it again. Nylander backhanding it towards the net. It's seven in front of the shot. Oh, Pacioretty had that just go wide. So far, the addition of Pacioretty on that line, on that side, has been rather beneficial. Puck around on the far side. Senators have got a defenseman trapped, but it's brought in over the line by Cousins. Into the slot and a shot, and Stolars is there to make the save on Perron.
Boy, hindsight being 20/20, not a great pitch by the Leafs to try to keep that in. But moments earlier, boy, Max Pacioretty, I don't know if Hallmark caught a piece of that or if it caught the crossbar. The rush back the way it was Jake McCabe, wasn't it, Joe? That down the wall to pinch.
John Tavares made a great play to get back and hurry things. And then as he was sliding towards the net and Stolars had it underneath him, you could see his lips. Attaboy Stoli. So it is still 2-0 in favor of the Maple Leafs.
Next goal's a big one, Joe.
Thank you. Played to the zone and into the Leaf end. Blocked,
Every
but it's
goal is
controlled.
big in
And a
the
shot
playoffs.
taken by Stutzler, deflected up into the screen and out of play. There was what was the character? Captain Obvious. Yes. You have turned into Corporal Obvious.
I gotta say it a lot of times. A lot of times.
Yeah. Yes. That again is from Corporal Obvious. Face off in the Toronto zone. Nylander and Matthews have scored the goals. And the Maple Leafs have a 2-0 lead. Pushed ahead to the line, just out of the reach of Matthews, or he had Nyes breaking. Now the Senators bring it back in on the right wing side. Flip it into the corner. Riley trying to poke it back in the net. It goes bounces off Brandon Carlo's stick, but he gets it ahead. Nye settles it down and finds Riley, who finds Marner, who backhands off the glass into the zone and heads to the bench. Matthews chipping it back in the net. Greg got it up on the wing, but not out. But now the Senators break with Sanderson. He brings it to the line to Greg. Greg dropping into the slot. A shot didn't make it through. Leafs corral the rebound. Nye's got his head up in time as Amadio was there trying to lower the foam on him, but it didn't happen. Montepallo back in his own zone. Played in over the line by Ottawa. Cannon trying to ring the boards with it. Cut off there and played out at center ice by McMahon. It's cleared back to center. McMahon intercepted, and now Domi. He'll backhand deep into Ottawa territory. In after it quickly and taken down there behind the net was McMahon. He got back up on his skates to get it back to the point. Unable to shoot it at the net, Benoit tried to play it in, and then it was knocked back out, and the Leafs have to tag up as it's cleared back into Ottawa territory. Leafs get one change as Nylander comes over the boards. Played back along the wall for Benoit. Benoit got it ahead. Nylander has it on the right wing. And across the line, got a drop pass from McMahon. Nylander with it again down the right wing boards. Challenged as he got it into the slot, but it was picked off, and David Perron brings it back in center and sends it down into the Toronto zone. Leafs 2, Ottawa no score. 16 and a half minutes to go in the second period. Back to the point. Wristed towards the net, blocked in front of the goal again. Leafs are going to get it out at center, and it is played off the boards then by Nylander, but not in deep. Senators to the far side. Nylander trying to get to the bench to get a change started, and brought in now by Nick Jensen. Jensen of Ottawa into the corner. Knocked down by Brandon Carlo. Back of the net, Scott Lawton played it to the far boards, but Stützle is there to Shabbat. Shabbat back to Stützle. Wired shot over top of the goal, and it bounces off Stolars and comes to the line. Just kept in by Stützle, but he gives it away. Nylander looking ahead, but he couldn't hit Lawton, who was breaking in behind the defense. Brought back by Stützle. Stützle to the net, a shot. Down is Stolars. He's got that turn up. It is equipment and hold.
Big save.
Boy, just 5 shots on goal for the Senators. 3 of them have forced Anthony Stolars to come up with huge saves. As Willie Nylander, Joe, got caught out on a long shift. Couldn't make the play offensively. Brandon Carlo got spun around right in front of Stolars, and that opened a lane for Stützle to take it from the left wing circle to the net. It's been a strange game for Stolars. Not a lot of work, but boy, the chances have been outstanding for Ottawa.
Draw one by Toronto, carried to center ice by Tanev. Leafs get it in. Matthews ringing the boards with it. Marner down out on the wall. Got a piece of his man, but the puck goes free. Sanderson back of the net, and the Sens get it up on the right wing and out at center. And it'll be launched into the Toronto end. Bounced away from Stolars. Defenseman Tanev after the puck. Nicely done to get it to McCabe. And the Leafs are going to get it to the line, but Nyes doesn't get it out. On the near side, Tanev again. He'll take down his man. Both players to the ice. Helping out is Lawton Matthews against the boards. Matthews comes away with the puck. Now looks for an outlet. Got it ahead, but it was knocked down by the Senators. Pass it on the wing, stopped by Stolars.
Stolars just bailed you out of a bad pass.
Out at center. He'll get it into the zone. Eyes into the forecheck as it comes right to the side of the goal, and Marner played it around the wall. It'll be kept in by Benoit. Back for Marner around back of the net, but Domi unable to get there after a change being made here by the Maple Leafs. 14 and a half minutes to go in the second period. It's 2-0 in favor of Toronto. But Ottawa has been pressuring and pressing. Puck down around the boards. Leafs need a little bit of a counterattack here to get things rolling, and they'll get it out, and it is brought by Pontus Holmberg to the line and in. He'll play it in deep, but it's grabbed there by Zetterlund and set around the boards. It'll clear and come all the way back into Toronto territory. Brandon Carlo starts back up on the right side. The former Bruin deflects it in off Domi. No, apparently it did not go off Domi. And an icing call is coming here against Toronto.
Well, you like the execution that the Matthews line has had here in the opening period in the offensive zone. But Austin Matthews and Matthew Nyes in the same shift have opportunities to clear the zone and don't. And that forces Anthony Stolars to bail them out.
Yeah. If he goes up the boards, Matthews, Nyes is right there and probably gets it out, but he tried to send it high, and I didn't get it high enough to get it over everybody, and all of a sudden the Hornets' nest is back.
Now, I don't know if he thought Nyes could glove it and then kind of drop it and skate it up.
Face off in the Toronto zone. Won by Ottawa. Shabbat in against the boards. The Leafs are able to punch it back out at center and down into the zone. No icing on a good hustle play by Bobby McMahon. McMahon takes his man down and lost his stick, but it is cleared out at center and down into the Toronto end. Stolars will leave it there for Tanev. Tanev to Lawton, up on the wing for Yarncrook. Down into the zone it goes. Fourth line out there again. Cleared by Ullmark around the boards. Pinching to keep it in was Lawton on the near boards, but it is poked out at center ice, and the Senators get it in on the left wing. Here's David Perron. Stopping it up, got it off to the defense on the right side. A centering pass blocked, and now Lorenz just gets rid of it to center ice. Sanderson with it now. Senators regroup the puck and get it in over the line. Stolen back by Jake McCabe and banked out at center ice, and the Senators have to clear, but they don't clear in time, and it's a delayed offside that Scotty Lawton hopes to utilize as it comes back to the near side for Carlo. Carlo got the center, shot it in. No, he didn't get the center. It was as close as damn is to swearing, but it was icing.
And a big push by the Ottawa Senators. We've seen long stretches into the second and third period where they haven't been able to mount many shots on goal. And even though they're saying right now, Joe, 6 shots for Ottawa, but doesn't it feel like they've had 4 or 5 great shots here in the second period already?
Yeah.
Leafs, on the other hand, have had just 9 as we near the midway mark of the second period.
Face off in the Toronto zone. Matthews with some words to the official. They are Graham Skilleter from La Ronge, Saskatchewan, and Francis Charon from Ottawa.
Yeah, that got some play, I think, in social media.
Andrew Smith and Ryan Deasy are the linesmen here this evening. Face off to the left in the Toronto zone. And is won by the Leafs. McCabe able to kick the puck back around the boards. Got it up for Nylander, who couldn't get it up the wall for him. The ensuing scrum is on the near boards. Knocked down on the play. It comes back to the point to Shabbat. Long shot, scores!
Wah, wah.
Brady Tkachuk from the point. Cuts into the lead. It's 2-1.
And Jake McCabe's got a beef at the scrum in the corner. Brady Tkachuk grabbed the stick out of McCabe's hand. And the instant that it took McCabe to pick the stick back up, he could not beat Tkachuk to the race to the front of the net. We'll see it again. There's the scrum. And Tkachuk goes down and then grabs onto the stick of McCabe. And that's why he goes to the front of the net unchecked. And a perfect redirection on the Shabbat point shot. Boy, Ottawa's done that a lot in this series, haven't they?
Well, that is going to be a controversial goal. And Tkachuk cuts into the lead, making it 2-1.
Back into the game.
It was a Shabbat point shot.
And there was an official
Yeah.
standing right there.
Yeah.
I don't know who it was.
But if you're Jake McCabe, Joe, you can't quit on that.
No, you can't. It is 2-1, Toronto. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey.
Yeah, when he took your stick, yeah, you just got to stay on him. Unfortunately, you went for your stick and got caught. But, you know, that's what the Sens do. They got themselves back in the game. How are the Leafs going to respond is the question, because it seems like the Leafs tend to go inwards when they don't get their way outwards. That could be interpreted as them not getting their way. They got to just put that behind them, go forward and keep playing the strong game that they've been playing, that they've been establishing, and all will be fine. It's getting hot. Second period action, 2-1 Toronto. Go Leafs, go. Live. Remix.
So it is a one-goal hockey game.
Brady Tkachuk, that's his fourth goal, seventh point of the series.
He leads everybody in goal scoring. And now in, no, not in points. Marner has 8 in the series.
Nylander, by the way, got an assist on the first goal.
Yes. Played out at center ice to the line. Leafs with it again. Nice. Launches it back into Ottawa territory. Hustles in there against Sanderson, who got it along the boards for Zub. Zub against the wall, but it is knocked away by Nyes. Nyes to Matthews. Matthews back to the point. Marner into the slot. Pass into the Riley. Into the slot area for Matthews again. Doesn't shoot it. Carlo. Now to Matthews, or to Marner, and the shot went wide. Matthews taken to the inboards, and the Senators clear it high to center ice, but it's knocked back in. And now here's Marner working into the corner. Marner stops up, looks for a man, went off a skate back of the net for Nyes. Nyes had it knocked off his stick. Pinching was Carlo, but it's out at center ice and now in over the line for Ottawa. Good play by the Leafs to block that. And it is knocked away by Pontus Holmberg, and he'll get it out at center. Domi couldn't come up with it. Holmberg does. Holmberg down on the right wing boards, gets it into the Ottawa end. Back of the net, Domi can't come up with it, but Bobby McMahon did for a moment, and the Sens are able to push it out at center ice. Jake McKay turning back in his own zone. 2-1 the score. A pass on the wing is intercepted, and the Sens back in for Stützle. Couldn't backhand it to the net, then lost the handle on the puck as it's cleared into neutral ice. Approaching the midpoint of the second period. Shot back into the Toronto zone. Stolarz played it into the corner, but it's cut off by Zetterlund. Zetterlund sends it towards the net. That doesn't reach the goal, and Domi gets it off his skate to center, but it is quickly brought back in by Clevin and Cousins. Cousins around back of the net. Domi had his stick slashed out of his hands, and it's cleared down to the ice, and an icing call coming against Toronto.
Right, this is as big a push as we've seen from the Senators in this series, isn't it, Joe? Where they're coming in waves. They've established the forecheck, and the Leafs have had trouble. Even there, Anthony Stolarz goes behind the net. Both defensemen are being pressured, and he ends up throwing it into the corner, and the Leafs were just lucky to be able to get rid of it and take the icing.
Face-off coming in the Toronto zone. Domi to take the draw. And a warning has already been issued by one of the linesmen, and Domi lost the draw. Puck comes back around the boards into the near corner. Hustling after it is Holmberg. He ties it up on the wall. Puck comes back to the point. Shot wide of the net. Trying to chip it and not succeeding. And then a shot was stopped by Stolarz. And the Leafs are going to get it freed up. And now McMahon just flipping it down into the zone. And it'll go not for icing, so the Leafs are going to get their change. Jensen starts back up ice for Ottawa. He'll hit the red line, and in it goes. Round the boards near side for Tanev. Tanev ties his man up against the wall, back of the net, got the puck free, now looks to make a move with it, finds his defense partner in Oliver Ekman-Larsson. He gets it airmailed high to center, a high stick makes contact, but the Leafs are going to get it, but not into the zone. Oliver Ekman-Larsson back in his own territory, being hounded there by Stützle. Got it out at center. Leafs send it off on the wing for Nylander across the line. Nylander into the corner for Pacioretty, and around the boards Tavares. He can't come up with it, and Nylander does for Pacioretty. Pacioretty sends it around to the near side. Carlo is able to pinch and keep it in. Leafs in the midst of a change as Nyes comes out of the corner. Tried to center in front of the net for Matthews off the stick. Into the near corner, Matthews taken to the boards. Now Matthews battles hard on the wall. Gets some assistance there from Nyes. Back of the net, Marner trying to help out. And he has it now. Back into the slot of John. And that takes down a player in front of the net as Stutzla blocked that. Into the corner now for Matthews, trying to center it, Marner. And it's knocked away and played high to center ice and down into the Leaf end. Carlo around the boards for Morgan Riley. Played out at center ice. Riley got hit. Now Marner in over the line. Marner a backhand stopped by Omar. A spinning move by Mitch Marner. And Omar makes the save on the short side. Stutzla bent over on the bench.
I think he's the one that took the brunt of that Morgan Riley shot. Actually got him right
in the shin pads. Yeah.
What a hero. But he's doubled over on the bench. Matthews' line has looked sharp when they've had the puck in the offensive zone.
Equipment malfunction. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on TSN.
A little bit of a seesaw game going on here. Pressure coming from both teams. Both teams want this win, obviously. Both teams are going to try and get it. Who's going to win the seesaw battle and come out on top? Currently, the Leafs are up 2-1. We're about halfway through the period and through regulation. The Leafs trying to bury their demons and advance to the second round. But the Sens are trying to prolong the series one more game. You are tuned into Blue Snot Go Leafs Go Live Remix. Go Leafs Go.
TSN 1050.
Teams have traded goals in the second period. Nylander from Pacioretty, Tkachuk from Shabbat and Giroux. And the Austin Matthews goal in the first period.
That lines look sharp, though, haven't they?
Yeah.
They have dominated the boards.
Nylander winning a face-off. Pacioretty knocked it back to the net, but the Senators are there, and Shabbat with a long up and across the line, but it's broken up by the Maple Leafs. Played around back of the net for Benoit. Benoit got it up on the wing. Pacioretty battles for it. The puck along the boards comes back to the point. Kept in by Ottawa. Backhanded into the near corner. Around back of the net it goes. Trying to come out with it is Amadio. Tied up there by Oliver Ekman-Larsson. Now not, or at least Tavares in against the boards with him. Kicked up against the wall. Still pried up there by the Leafs. And finally poked free. Ottawa can't get anywhere with it. Leafs bank it ahead. Cleared on the backhand, but not out. Kept in now by Greg in front of the net. A shot knocked down. There's a scramble. The puck is somewhere underneath and it's taken to safety by Nylander.
Stolars bails out another terrible pass.
Maybe a high stick knocked that down, but
yep.
Boy, again, the Leafs have an opportunity to get it out.
Dumb,
and that time it was
passes. Stolars bailed him out.
Instead of going up the boards, tried to backhand pass to Tavares in the middle of the ice. It gets knocked down, and then Anthony Stolars in the reverse, or I guess it's not the reverse snow angel. He's perfect snow mode.
Yeah, perfect snow angel mode. Face-off controlled by Ottawa and shot into the Toronto end. Tanev on the near boards gets it out. chipped along the boards by Yarncrook, but it is sent back in. And Stolars plays to his defenseman, but it got off the stick of McCabe, who now gets it ahead, and the Leafs are able to get it out. Bit of a hiccup there from Jake McCabe.
Clean up the slop. Clean up the slop. Clean up the slop.
Senators up ahead at center for Zetterlund. On the right wing side, and a drive is into the glove off the stick of Montepallo. And caught by Anthony Stolar. Leafs 2, Ottawa 1 here in the second period.
Stolar has only had 3 shots on goal in the first. Ottawa's already doubled that here in the second. Leafs with a slight edge, 10-9 in shots. But this is probably the best stretch for the Ottawa Senators on the forecheck. They've given the Leafs fits. Once the game went to 2-0, Ottawa turned it on.
7:03 to play in the second period. Draw won by Toronto. Marner pulls and then banks it out and down into Ottawa territory. Matthews and Nyes after it, but it is grabbed off by Artem Zub, and he gets it ahead for Stützle. Stützle sends it down into the Leaf end. Cleared back of the net by Stolars. Carlo ran into Giroux. The puck goes around to the far wing. Now back along the boards. Morgan Riley couldn't come up with it, but the Leafs do get it out, and Nyes sends it into the offensive zone. Down the right wing boards, Matthews. Partially blocks, comes out with it, but can't get it in front cleanly. Stolen back by Nyes. Nyes can't control it, and it works its way back into the center ice area. Benoit for Pontus Holmberg. Left now for Benoit. Benoit down the right wing boards and in. Benoit goes around back of the net with it. Still has it on the far side. Tried to get it back to the point, but it was knocked away by Brady Tkachuk and played to center ice. Benoit hustling back after it, leaves it for Oliver Ekman-Larsson. OEL with a lead pass off Bobby McMahon's stick. He gets down into the zone, but is drilled to the boards by Tyler Clement. Puck on the far side, bounces over Ty Domi's stick, and the Senators get it out at center ice. In across the line, rolling in on goal. Easily steered aside by Stolars, but the puck is still in the Toronto end. A centering pass, partially blocked. Domi doesn't get it out. Perron in the right wing corner, and the pass has deflected down into Ottawa territory.
Why does it feel like 5 minutes left in the third? Doesn't it? There's that urgency from Ottawa's side, and the Leafs have been fortunate at times in their own end.
They've made some mistakes, and Stolar has bailed them out, is what he meant.
Nylander in along the boards. Hit there by Pacioretty. The puck comes free. Pacioretty and Nylander with it. Nylander sends it back behind the net. Tavares in there takes his man down. Pacioretty with the puck back to the net for Tavares. Can't come up, gets it back to the point. Nylander a shot. Rebound. Backhand to the goal line. Smothered by Ullmark.
Boy, I think this gets past Ullmark, maybe off the post and back into him. As great work on the forecheck, led by John Tavares and followed up by Nylander and Pacioretty. But yeah, it hits the outside of the post, so they don't get that friendly bounce into the blue paint. But back out into Ullmark as the Leafs very nearly restore the 2-goal lead.
2-goal posts now. Pacioretty involved in both of them. It is 2-1 Toronto, and you're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey.
Two goal posts for Pacioretty. Leafs have a 2-1 lead, with just about 5 minutes remaining in the second period. It's a tight one. Both teams are exchanging opportunities back and forth. I'll be honest, I don't like some of the sloppy play the Leafs are making. Stolar has already bailed them out a few times. We don't want to go to the well that many times, do we? Make some smarter plays, smarter passes, smarter clearouts. It's getting tight. It's getting exciting. You are tuned into Blue Snot. Go, Leafs, go. Live. remix. Put up a Gold Leafs Go in the chat. And we'll be right back.
That forced the game 7. I believe we did. I blessed you. I don't think.
Senators win the face-off and get it out into neutral ice. Chip down into the left wing corner for Shane Pinto. He's engaged, and then the puck is played up on the wing, but not out. Long shot deflects well wide. Far side, Amadio trying to send it to the net. Goes around back of the goal until he ran into the hip of Benoit and was flattened. Brought out at center by the Leafs and chipped in over the line by Nyes. Played by Zub around back of the net to the near corner. And I could hear it, couldn't see it, but Nyes finished his check there. The puck in along the boards in the Toronto zone now. Lawton gets it freed up for McCabe. Sent back for Tanev. Played along the boards for Lawton. Lawton trying to chip it out, gets some assistance there from Nyes, who's still on the ice. Played to the center ice area. McCabe kicking it along the boards, has it in his skate. Now Yarncrook trying to help out. That puck finally comes free, and it is dug out by the Sens and then shot into the Toronto zone. Far side for McCabe. Back it goes for Lawton, trying to chip it back of the goal. Couldn't do so, but has it again. Got it ahead, but not out. Played around back of the net. Tanev is there again, and Mr. Dependable gets it out.
Clear ice.
Played by Lawton deep into the Ottawa zone.
They're going to cost you if you don't get it right.
In the second, Lawton back of the net. Fourth line doing a good job again of trying to keep the puck in the offensive zone. Playing around the boards and in back of the net now with Nylander joining the fray. And Tavares. Tavares kicking it back towards the blue line. Sent it into the corner. Nylander then was drilled to the boards and drilled to the ice on a hit there by Tyler Clevin. Nylander returns the favor. Although we didn't see it fully on the screen, it was in behind the play a bit. Nylander getting the puck back of the net, and Morgan Riley in the far corner gets it out at center ice. Leafs ahead for Tavares. Tavares in on the wing, doesn't shoot it. To the left wing half wall, dropping it off for Willie. Nylander back to the point. Benoit hammered it wide of the goal, and the Sens are going to get it out at center ice, only to have it turned over again, then played in over the line and turned over once more. Leafs get it back at center. Marner left wing side, nice, and he shot it, and it's kicked by Olmark up into the screen.
Boy, for a 2-1 game, it's been fairly wide open, hasn't it? We've seen both teams get all kinds of opportunities. As Clevin dropped his shoulder into Willie Nylander, but Nylander got back up and finished the check on the near boards. Pretty good opportunity by Matthew Nyes. We saw Nylander score off the right wing. Here, Nyes off the left wing. Tries to go short side on Allmark, but Allmark beats him with the blocker.
2:25 to go, second period. Leafs 2, Ottawa 1. Matthews with a bit of a huddle with his line mates and defensemen. Draw to the right. One cleanly. Marner circles back. Marner looking in front of the net, and the shot was stopped. The rebound. Chopped to the line and out as Riley couldn't get there. He'll find Brandon Carlo, who returns the favor. Played by Riley out into the neutral zone. Nyes couldn't control the puck. Shot back into the zone by Ottawa. Down the boards, Carlo trying to chip it along, goes to the other side. Nyes with a little bit of room, now looking to get it out, but a bad pass is intercepted by Ridley Gregg. Gregg keeps it in. Gregg along the boards, and Nyes now with skating room finds Marner, who flips it ahead. Here's Brandon Carlo in. Big glove save from Linus Olmark. Ooh, do you wish 34 was over there and not 25?
Yeah, but Carlo got him face to face with his former teammate. Mitch Marner, what a clever backhand pass from the red line right between the benches onto the stick of Carlo. So that's two opportunities that the Leafs have had in the last couple of shifts. Off the rush, Matthew Nyes a little earlier, and now Brandon Carlo.
1:44 left in the second period. Face off in the Ottawa zone. It was a great play by Carlo to jump into the rush. And a brilliant pass from Marner. Senators send it down into the Leaf end, but no icing. Grabbed off by McCabe. He got it to center. Kachuk stole it back. Leafs get it to the line and in with Tavares. Tavares, right wing side, 10 of a long shot. Deflected in. That was stopped, and then Tavares couldn't get the rebound. And then it bounces over the stick of 10, but the Leafs are going to get back and get it back into the zone.
Scary.
Boy, you take a lucky one here.
Here's Kachuk. Left wing side. Shooting stop. Rebound goes to the far wing. Yarncrook does a nice job initially to tie up his man. Now gets it again. Sends it around back to the near corner. And it'll be Oliver Ekman-Larsson getting it out. Shot back in, and Stolars is out of the goal. He'll leave it there for Jake McCabe. McCabe's pass finds Lorenz. Lorenz ahead for Yarncrook. Yarncrook stops up at the half boards. Sends it in around back of the net. Lorenz is there to provide a hit. Lawton again, stolen by Yarncrook, in with a shot just wide, and a big rebound off the inboards, but no one there to do any damage with it. Icing call now against Ottawa.
This
We got
really
30
has the feel
seconds
of a
left
game
in the
that should
second
be
period, and it
4-3
is
or 5-4,
opening
doesn't
up.
it? As the Leafs off the rush again, Kelly Yarncroc misses short side. And right before that, the Leafs throw it to the net from the point. And just as I was about to say they need a lucky one, Ottawa takes off and an odd man rush back the other way, and Brady Tkachuk gets stopped by Anthony Stolars.
Nylander was trying to bank it in off the pad of Ullmark when he got his rebound chance. Leafs win the draw. Riley with a wrist shot. Knocked down. It's cleared to the line and out. And Brandon Carlo has it back at the red line, and now he's going to shoot it right back in again. 18 seconds left in the period. Senators Clevin. Long lead pass. Is that going to be an icing? So 11.9 seconds and a big face-off. Where's Matthew Nice?
Where's Simon Benoit?
Remember Nice?
In Pittsburgh.
Yes.
But I was just thinking Benoit, that same end of the ice in overtime.
Exactly.
After a face-off win by Austin Matthews. Boy, he hammered one earlier in the period, didn't it? And he's got a little oomph on that one-timer from the point.
Face off in the Ottawa zone to the right of Ullmark. Matthews taking the draw, won it cleanly. Riley at the left point, has to hurry, got a shot away, but there was no traffic in front of the net. And Ullmark is able to catch that with 7 seconds. Let's try that again. This time, can we get some people in front of the eyes of Linus Ullmark? (17 to 11). Shots favor Toronto. And another huddle by Matthews, who will be asked to win this draw. Riley and Oliver Ekman-Larsson are back there. The draw is scrummed. The puck goes to Marner. Marner on the far half court, centering in front. And Matthews couldn't get his stick on it. And a shot by Oliver Ekman-Larsson into the shin pads of Ridley Gray drew the ire of the Ottawa forward, who looked like he was going to give a two-hander to the Leafs defenseman.
Well, we saw that vicious shot block into the shin pads of Tim Stützle that had him tumbled over on the Ottawa bench. Maybe it hurts more than we think it should, but why wouldn't we go into the third period with a 1-goal difference between these two clubs here in Game 6?
17 to 11, the shots after 40 minutes. Teams trade goals in the second after Matthews from Marner and Nylander on the power play opened the scoring late in the first. Nylander scored 43 seconds into the second from Pacioretty, but Tkachuk from Shabbat and Giroux at 7:28 have the Senators back into the game, trailing by 1. We have got Michael DiStefano coming by to be with Jim Taddy for our second period intermission. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on TSN 1050 and the Kentucky Derby is...
Well, that really opened up for such a close scoring game. Both teams are trying to find their offense, and they're really gunning. Ottawa's had some chances. Stolars come up big. Toronto's had some chances too. I'm okay with the level of play. The one thing I would suggest is stronger clear-outs and no blind, soft passes. Because a weak clear-out and a weak pass is going to be a problem in the third period if it continues. So Leafs are going to have to turn it up on the defensive end and on the smarts end. Play with that galaxy brain. Some smart hockey. Bring it home in the last 20 minutes. How we feeling? It's game 6. 2-1 lead for the Leafs. Second intermission. Get some hydration. Stretch the legs. Get a snack. Do whatever you gotta do. Make sure you come back for the third period. Blue Snot, Go Leafs Go Live Remix.
Chris. 7 minutes into the second period, Vegas and Minnesota are tied at 1. Theodore for Vegas and Hartman for Minnesota with 4 seconds left in the first period. Vegas has a 3-2 series lead. The other games have yet to start. Dallas and Colorado. Dallas with a 3-2 series lead. That starts after 9:30. And at 10 o'clock, Los Angeles and Edmonton Oilers with a 3-2 series lead. In our game, 2-1 for the Leafs over the Ottawa Senators after 40 minutes of play. Oh, yes, Guy. The third period is next. Molson Canadian Leafs Hockey on TSN 1050, the iHeartRadio app, and the Leafs Radio Network.
Snap. Go Leafs Go Live. Remix. Let's get a Go Leafs Go in the chat. Let's get a Go Leafs Go going in the back. Getting set to start the third period action. Gut check time. The Leafs are really trying to exercise some demons right now. Is it going to be another choke to force a game 7? Or will they finally find what it takes to put a team away and summon that killer instinct? Find out next. Third period action. Maple Leafs Hockey. Blue Snot. Go Leafs Go Live Remix.
Senators in Game 6, 2-1, and the period is being brought to you by Molson. Whether it's Canadian Ultra, Export, or XL, there's a Molson with your name on it.
All right. You want me to stick with the Captain Obvious theme?
No, you're Corporal Obvious.
Well, I have aspiration to move up. For what it matters in the regular season, the Leafs 35-1-1 when taking a lead into the third period. There are the Senators when they've trailed after 5 wins, 23 losses, and 1 overtime loss on the year. But as we say, it's a new season, and now it is the third time the Leafs have taken a lead, but the first 2 times were the first 2 games on home ice when they were able to defeat the Senators. Remember, Ottawa scored in Game 2 late in the third period on their first shot on goal with about 5 minutes left instead of Max Domi's overtime winner. They did have the lead in Game 3 when Austin Matthews scored early in the third period, but Ottawa tied that game up before Simon Benoit won it in overtime. So the Leafs have had success when having a lead in the third period.
The weather has cleared up. The folks down at Maple Leaf Square are out in numbers as always. And the Leafs have gotten goals from some of the big boys. Austin Matthews and Willie Nylander on his birthday have scored the Toronto tallies, and Willie scored for Ottawa. The Leafs have outshot the Ottawa
We are getting ready to drop the puck.
20 minutes of play at the Canadian Tire Center in Canada. So the Leafs will endeavor.
I think we got a delay going on again. Is this going to be like the second period when I put it in and we just tune into a Leafs goal?
Carlo back to Jake McCabe. McCabe having difficulties with it. Played it off on the wing, but the Senators have it. And a shot ricochets wide of the Leaf goal. Kept in at the point, and a long shot goes high to the side of the net. All of this on a giveaway by McCabe. Pacioretty can't get to it. Shot into the chest of Stolarz. Smothered and held. Stützle putting on his brave boy pants there in a shoving episode with Brandon Carlo.
Boy, Jake McCabe's had some tough moments in this game. That shot cranked off the post too, didn't it, Joe? From long range, might have beat Stolarz, but you remember in the second period, McCabe got caught in a bad pinch. He got caught after he lost his stick and allowed Brady Tkachuk to go to the net.
Face off in the Toronto zone. Lawton with Lorenz and Yarncrook out there for Toronto. Linesman giving Lawton a bit of a warning. And no, the warning is you're out. Okay. So Yarncrook will take the face off for Toronto against Stützle. And the draw is scrummed in along the boards. Oliver Ekman-Larsson ties up his man. Now Lawton has it up against the boards, pushes it free. Yarncrook couldn't get it around, and it's played around to the near side. Lorenz stops his man as it goes back of the net. Lawton trying to chip it along. Chopped at there by Yarncrook, but not cleared. Senators able to keep it in. At the point on the near side, a shot, good pad save made by Stolarz. And this time the Leafs get it airmailed, but into the bench. And out of play.
Judging by the roar, Ottawa Senator fans were just hoping that was going to clear the glass in behind the Leafs bench. So both teams have come out and had some opportunities here early in the third period. Mitch Marner, a great opportunity from the high slot.
Gotta hit the net with that. Gotta hit the net with that. Stolarz with a good pad save. And the face-off. Tkachuk playing patty fingers there with Ekman-Larsson's stick.
Ekman-Larsson, a good job to block him out.
Tanev off the boards, cleared to center ice. Nylander to Tavares. Tavares in on the left wing, couldn't get a shot away. Cycles it back behind the net, but Nylander unable to get there. And then a big hit by Pacioretty as the puck is pushed out at center ice. And here's Perron into the slot. His shot was blocked entirely, and Tanev finds Tavares, who finds Nylander. Nylander in his own zone. Long rink-wide pass that McCabe failed to get it out. Brought in now by Perron. Perron down the near
Terrible
boards.
idea to pass
Trying
it
to chip
there
it
in
into
the
the
first
corner,
place.
goes around back of the net. The always present Tanev there to get it up on the wing. Leafs unable to clear.
Get on the puck,
McCabe plays
get
it
it
right
out
in
of the
front of
zone.
his own goal where no one was, and it's played to center ice, and Domi has it in across the line. Max looking for an outlet, back to the point. Morgan Riley with a shot that was blocked before it got anywhere near the Ottawa goal. Senators get it back out at center. Zetterlund plays it into the Toronto end. Carlo reverses the puck for Morgan Riley, who took a hit there from Cousins to get it out. And it's back at the Ottawa blue line. Senators backhanded back in. Brandon Carlo has space and time. Looks up ice to get it ahead to Matthews. On to Morgan Riley. Riley shooting it in. Round on the boards to the far side for Marner. He tips it back to the net. Matthews got there but couldn't make a play. Played on the backhand by Nick Jensen to the line, but not out. Kept in by Toronto. Bouncing puck comes to the near wing. Getting there on the change was Benoit. Back to the net, Marner. Marner with it again. Tried to center, and it was blocked. He doesn't see it, and it's grabbed off by Michael Amadio. He'll get it to center ice. Matthews back in his own zone. To Benoit. Up on the left wing for Knies. Just did get it into Ottawa territory. Both teams are trying to change. Sanderson will turn in his own zone. Starts it up at center. Looks to the left wing side, then shoots it in and around the boards. Grabbed off by the Sens and kept in at the point. McCabe ties his man up. Tried to play it ahead there for Lawton. It comes to him, and Lawton will get it out on the right wing side for Lorenz. Lorenz plays it gingerly in over the line to deny icing, but gets it back to the net for Yarncrook. He couldn't come out with it, and it's played up on the boards by David Perron, but not out. Leafs are able to keep it in. Slashing at it was Yarncrook, but he couldn't get it towards the net. Senators with it again, but another solid shift by the Leafs fourth line.
Power.
They have really turned into a very dependable threesome.
And not a lot of scoring chances, but they're momentum shifters.
Played up on the wing to the line and in. Here's Stutzla trying to drive the net. Made a pass for Tkachuk, but it was out of his reach. Nylander gets it ahead for Tavares. Tavares to center with Pacioretty, who shoots it in. Round on the boards, back of the net, Olmark. Got it into the corner. Nylander couldn't keep it in as the Sens get in over the line. Stutzla, chased by Pacioretty, got to the net with a shot that was stopped by Stolarz. Nylander starts back the other way. Down the right wing, sends a long shoot in on goal.
15
Senators
minutes
back.
in.
We've already played 5 minutes. Here's
Remaining.
Gaudette and Shabbat unable to get in
5
cleanly,
minutes in.
and a whistle is going to stop play for what? I have no idea.
In offside.
Could be. At any rate, it'll be outside the blue line.
Tim Stutzla's probably had one of his more impressive games of this series as well, Joe. No, he was one of the stars last game,
Boy,
but he drove to the net well. And
Stolarz needed all 6'7" of them, didn't he?
Just got his shoulder on it, didn't he?
Well, the faceoff is at center ice, so again, I have no idea what happened. Played right back down into Ottawa territory. Clevin taken to the boards, tries to work up. That went off a stick, and out of the net comes Olmark, but he lost it, and the Leafs hit the goal post. It comes back to the point. Here's McCabe with a shot, blocker into the screen, and Linus Olmark almost had the gaff of the series.
Well, Ottawa gives it away off his skate. Olmark comes out to play it on the forehand, but he knows if he tries to go up the boards, Max Domi's going to pick it off. So he just turns and sort of panics and plays it into the corner. Domi got to that. And from a sharp angle, banks it off the side of the net.
Good try.
And went out towards the
It's a lot of goalposts in
for
this
the
series.
Senators. Nobody
This
was
season,
there.
a lot of goalposts.
Geometrically speaking, Mr. Ralph, the shot came from about 6 inches ahead of the goal line. So in effect, he could have scored. But it hit the goalpost. Puck down in the Toronto zone to the side of the net. Pushed ahead for Nyes. Nyes needs to get it out, but doesn't. But then Matthews does. And Matthews works it over the line. Oh, he could have taken a dive there, and he didn't. Matthews with it back to the point. Benoit holds. Wrist shot coming. Deflected wide. Puck on the far side, but Nyes had gone to the bench. And it's back out at center ice for Ottawa. Amadio gets it down in on the right wing. Taken to the boards there by Scotty Lawton. Lorenz back it to the line.
Yarncrook fourth line pressure.
Slashed in over the line on a delay by Lawton. Senators back in their own zone. Swing it around, but Matt McCabe breaks that up, and a centering pass for Yarncrook just went astray. Lawton's behind the net. Centering pass! Hammered wide of the goal.
Good try.
By Lawton.
Boy, there was room on the far side.
Back in the Toronto end as it caromed all the way down into the Leaf zone. Tanev gets it ahead. Tavares can't get in over the line. Right wing side now for Dylan Cousins. Cousins stops up. Tried to center it in front. Picked off there by McCabe. Played up on the wing. Leafs are going to get it up on the boards, and Tavares gets to the red line and buys half the rink by sending it in. 12:55 to play in the
Every
third.
puck
Still
matters.
2-1 Toronto. Long pass knocked away.
How bad do you want
McMahon
this?
up ahead
Every
for Pontus
single
Holmberg
puck
and into the zone. It
matters
goes.
right now.
Holmberg taken to the boards. Domi trying
How
to
bad
break
do you
free.
want
Does
this?
to McMahon. McMahon back to the point. Riley, you're going to get back from Domi to the right wing side for Carlo. A shot that was blocked. Grabbed off by McMahon. Leafs trying to have some zone time here. Here's Domi coming out from behind the net. from the side of the net. He centers. It comes back to the point. Brandon Carlo whipped it wide. Near side for Riley. Riley keeping it in.
Good pressure by the
Domi
third
trying
line.
to knock it down, and he has. Chips it back to the net for Bobby McMahon, who was ridden off the puck. McMahon back into the fray, though. Gets it into the corner for Domi. Domi back to the point. Kept alive. Good shift here by the third line for the Maple Leafs. Back of the net, McMahon. Still with it. Trying to free it up. Now to the side of the goal it comes. Matthews overskated it. A shot from the point whistled wide. Matthews after the puck. Shabbat trying to just get it out for Ottawa, and he does. Leafs have it again. Benoit. Pass for Matthews. Flipped high into the near corner. Sanderson gets there. Marner chops it back behind the goal from him. And Jensen will try to play it out, but he has iced the puck. No, I guess... Boy, I don't know how they missed that. Or did it touch somebody? It must have. They couldn't have missed it. Played out at center ice by the Maple Leafs. Brought right back in again. Ridley Gregg got it in over the line. Leafs get it back. And here's that fourth line again. The official knocks down Lawton. So that's at least 1 for 1 in that department.
I think that was the Reds.
Linesman has had a busy night. Pass deflects down into the Toronto zone. Not sure if it's the same linesman, but now Lawton skating it out. McCabe up on the right side. Chipped in over the line there by Yarncrook. And it's around back of the net. The Senators are there. But 3 real good offensive zone shifts for the Maple Leafs here to hem the Senators in. 10:37 left to play in the third. 2-1 Toronto. Here's Stützle getting it up on the left wing to the line, but knocked out of the air, and it goes onto the stick of Bobby McMahon. McMahon plays it down into the Ottawa zone. Hustling in there after it was Tavares. Centered in front of the goal, and it's knocked away before Nylander and McMahon could get to it. Stützle crossed the line on the left wing for Giroux. Back to the point, of one-timer. Pad save, and a good one made by Stolarz. Flipped just out at center ice by McMahon.
Boy, he fanned on that.
Did he ever?
That could have been
10 minutes remaining in the third
I think
period.
you detected that in my voice, Mr. Rowe. Cleared down into the Toronto zone. Back of the net now for Benoit. Reverses it, but Riley had gone to the front of the net. Now Domi can't get it out as it comes to the point. Wrist shot coming. That deflects high and wide. And on the near wing, it's Pacioretty clearing it, but it's going to be an icing call against Toronto.
Why would Riley go to the
And
front of the net
makeshift
there?
line is out there. Max Domi, Pacioretty. And I can't tell you who the other one is because we've got a commercial on.
I think McMahon was back out with Tavares and Willie Nylander the shift before. Or looking at another one, Brady Tkachuk just misses another redirection on a Thomas Chabot point shot.
Good strong save by Stolarz.
Face-off in the Toronto end of the rink.
All right, guys. I know you're tired.
Pacioretty.
You got to play this
Is that
smart.
Ottis Holmberg? I believe it is, yes.
Win this draw. Control the play.
Draw to the
Clear
left
the
of
zone.
Stolarz, but it's won by Ottawa.
Not
Chabot
the way I
works
do
to
it
the middle
ever.
of the ice. Now plays it into the corner. Sharp angle try. Riley knocks down an Ottawa player, and the net gets dislodged. And I believe Francis Giroux has called the penalty.
O'Reilly.
Might have been somewhat dramatically enhanced, but it works for the Senators. And they'll go to the second power play of the game. Yeah, he just leaves his feet. It was the brilliant play. This is just 2 guys battling for position. And Zetterlund, down he goes, knocks the net off, and draws the penalty.
Leafs to the penalty kill. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on TSN 1050 in the Maple.
A place in the U.
I said gut check time at the beginning of the intermission. How important is this penalty kill right now? Or this power play if you're the Ottawa Senators? The Leafs have got their work cut out for them now. Sitting on 9.5 minutes remaining in the period, and Ottawa's about to go to the power play. This is their chance to get back in the game, and this is the Leafs' chance to show what they're really made of. How we feeling? How are our nerves? How is the excitement level? Are we ready for this? We're getting ready for puck drop on this power play to close out this game. Let's get a Go Leafs Go in the chat. You are listening to Blue Snot. Go Leafs Go Live Remix.
Weekdays, 3 p.m. Eastern. Sirius XM 91 and the Sirius XM app. The biggest names in the game.
Dun, 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 dun. The pressure's on.
XM.
ESN 1050. Everywhere you want it.
Leafs lose the face-off. A man short. Sanderson along the boards. Kachuk into the corner. Kachuk trying to play it back. Marner intercepts. On his knees, back on his skates, and down the ice it goes. Penalty kill brought to you by CMC Markets. Take your trading to the next level with $0 commission on stocks. Sanderson through center. Right wing side for Dylan Cousins. That pops high in the air. Leafs got it to the line, but not out. Brought back in by Batherson. Batherson to the point. Sanderson near side Stutzla, top of the circle. Played off escape, trying to get to it with Lawton, but he couldn't. To the point, Sanderson. Off into the corner, it bounces away. Now Canada works the end boards. Batherson got it back. It comes back to the point and now to the near side, and the Leafs are going to get it off the boards to center. And Scotty Lawton's got a partial break. Lawton in. Lawton drags it around back of the net, but lost an edge and fell. And the Sens have it back in their own zone under control. 50 seconds left in the power play. 8:16 to go, third period. 2-1 Toronto.
Another minute to kill.
Up ahead now for Perron. Off the boards, intercepted, and Marner breaks back the other ways with Matthews, but then decides to try and spread things out. Matthews gets the puck on the near boards, thinks about going back to his own defense, then sends it into the zone, and Olmark will make sure it doesn't get to Marner. Marner slashes at it, forcing Shabbat even deeper. 20 seconds left in this penalty, and it's played back into the Ottawa zone by the Senators. Here's Giroux, through center, to the left wing side. Gregg took a shot from a sharp angle that was blocked by Stolars. Puck goes to Knies. Knies backhand, didn't get it out. Comes to the blue line, kept alive by Ottawa as the penalty expires.
Get on that puck. Get on that puck.
Chasing after Perron. Perron tried to center, he scores!
Ah, terrible. How you let that happen? Lazy. Good on the Senators. They fought for that one.
From below the goal line. And as good as Anthony Stolars has been in this series, this one could not have come at a worse time. First, the Leafs failed to clear Matthew Knies.
Yep.
Throwing it up the boards, and it's knocked down on the backhand. But the Leafs kill off the penalty, and then David Perron from below the goal line to the right of Stolars banks it in off the Leaf goaltender and into the net to tie this game
Terrible angle. Stolies and the Leafs blew that play.
I guess the puck was knocked down by a stick on the way out. The Leafs back in their own zone, and they're going to get it ahead to Nylander, who turns back in his own zone. Up ahead for Oliver Ekman-Larsson. To the line and in on the left wing. Larsson with a shot from an angle. This one is caught by Olmark. And there'll be a face-off in the zone as Kachuk and Tavares shoving a little bit at the side of the goal.
Now you look at both Ottawa goals, Joe. One, just a wrist shot from the point, gets redirected, but this one, if you're Anthony Stolars, at this point in the game, at this point in the series, you need that.
Breaking the action.
That's a tough one on Stolies right there. I agree. You kind of need him to save that one. And he's been brilliant all series. He's letting a few, Some sleepers here and there, as a goalie will. This was not the time to do it though. And Ottawa's back in this game. We've about 7 minutes remaining in the third period of a 2-2 hockey game. Action is tight, the nerves are high. Who's gonna be the hero? And for which team? You are tuned into Blue Snot. Go, Leafs, go. Live. Remix.
The goaltending move known as the reverse VH is something that for the love of God, I don't know why you use it when the puck is below the goal line. But that time it didn't work. Then a shot off the face-off by Nylander. Went just high and wide. Willie trying to keep the puck in. Senators unable to come up with it initially. Now Shabbat gets it in over the line, and Riley plays it back into the Ottawa zone. Senators tip it right back out again. Riley is able to get it to Carlo. Brandon Carlo back at the Toronto goal. Playing it around the boards on the near side. Leafs chop it back out into neutral ice. Senators shoot it right back in again. Riley leaving it there. Played by Carlo around the boards and out. And Bobby McMahon gets it into Ottawa territory. But the Senators have time and space as the Leafs are changing. Sanderson back of the goal. Gets it ahead, and a return pass to Sanderson as he gains the zone, but it's offside. 6:05 left in the third period, and we are now tied at 2.
Ottawa out shooting the Leafs 6-2 here in the third, so the Leafs can back.
Don't let this play and this crowd take your momentum out of your legs now. This is where you need to remember how good of a team you are, how skilled you are, how dominant you could be when you play smart and hard on every puck. Go, Leafs, go.
Waving both centermen out. Face off outside the Toronto blue line. Holmberg lost it. And Montepallo sends it around the boards and into the Leaf end. Canada against the boards. Played by Pontus Holmberg to an empty corner on the near side. And it is played ahead, and Domi's got a 2-on-1. Backs in with a shot off the glove of the goaltender over top of the net. Max has it back of the goal. Domi centers in front with a shot. They score! They score! The Leafs start line! Max Pacioretty!
Patches!
The Leafs take the lead! 5:39 to go!
Hit it with the horn. Go, Leafs, go.
Getting his glove on and went back off his glove over top of the net. And the Leafs work it out for below the goal line. Behind the net, Max Domi. A backhand pass to the Hines slot. Onto the stick of Pacioretty. And the Leafs quickly regain that one goal lead.
That was maximum effort. As is.
To the back.
Domi and Pacioretty. 3-2 Toronto with a giveaway. Matthews trying to center and it was knocked off his stick. Domi and Holmberg get the assist on the goal. Played out at center ice now by Ottawa. Here's Stützle slipping it in. Down into the corner it goes, and a hit there by Oliver Ekman-Larsson freed the puck up for the Leafs, and Marner carries to center and knocks it down into the zone. Leafs 3, Ottawa 2.
5 minutes remaining.
The boards to the near point. Riley tipped it in but didn't get it in deep. Now the official in the way. Leafs come out with it. Nice in front.
Lawton almost had it.
Oh my!
Good try, Scotty.
Nyes made a great play, and Lawton just failed to finish. Out at center. Yarncrook pushing it back into his own zone. Played up at center, and Yarncrook gets to the line and shoots it in. Lawton goes into the corner after it, back to the net. Comes away with it momentarily. But Jensen is able to
4:20
get it over
remaining
center.
in the
Leafs
third
get it back.
period.
McCabe sends it back in over the line. Jensen.
Leafs up 3-2 in the game and in the series.
Played into the Toronto zone. On the boards now for McCabe. Up on the wing and played out at center for McMahon. Shooting. Sharp angle try. And the save made by Omar.
I know he hasn't scored yet in the series, but this is by far Bobby McMahon's best game. As Scott Lawton hits the third post of the night for the Leafs to keep it a one-goal game, Toronto.
You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on TSN 1050.
It's a lot of posts. Like I was saying earlier, a lot of posts in this game, in this series, and in this season. The Leafs have had a lot of goal posts. Is there an analyst who's got a stat on that for the season? There's been a lot of goal posts. It's getting down to the wire now. The Sens going to find a way to get back into this game again, or the Leafs going to close it out and hold them off and bring them to elimination. We have 4 minutes remaining in the third period, with the Leafs up 3-2. Shots on goal are 22-17 for the Leafs. Now if they can close it out with some strong, hard, on-puck play, forecheck, and smart passes, they can let their D shine and pull this game the rest of the way over the line. How we feeling, Leafs Nation? Put a goalie score in the chat while I throw one up in the back.
That's Pacioretty's last goal, December the 20th.
Who's that, Anaheim?
I think you're right.
Against Anaheim.
Yeah, no, Chris Johnson just sending that out. I thank him. And the Leafs with a 3-2 lead thanks to the Maxes. Played off the boards on the left wing side. Bobby McMahon works around back of the net. McMahon backhands behind the goal for Tavares. Tavares working the end boards. Nylander got it freed up. Shot taken there by Tavares was easily stopped by Omar. 3:40 to go. And when will Travis Green get the goaltender out for an extra attack?
3:33 remaining,
On the near
third
boards,
period.
Benoit got it ahead. McMahon was
Game
interfered with
6.
there, but the puck was down into the Ottawa zone. Zub and Jensen brought to center ice and shot in wide of the Leaf goal around to the far side. Oliver Ekman-Larsson ties his man up on the boards. Matthews trying to get the loose puck, but it comes back to the point. Kept in by Shabbat. To the left wing side. Here's Stutzla trying to go wide. Comes to the side of the goal. Got the shot away, but it was stopped. And now Oliver Ekman-Larsson has
looking
it pinned
dangerous.
up against the boards in the corner. Puck comes free. Centering pass out in front. Knocked away by the Leafs and with skating room to his liking. Benoit will get to center. Then play it in off the stick of Marner. Great play by Marner there. The pass was up around his eyes. And if he doesn't get his stick on it, it's an icing. 2:43 to play. Shot right back down into the Toronto zone. Benoit in against the boards, back to the net. Comes
2:34
free.
remaining.
Centering pass. Bounced over the stick of Zetterlund. Then he got a shot that was directed wide by Stolars.
Get it out.
Leafs get it to the line, but
Not
not
out.
out. Long shoot in, goes wide of the Leaf goal. Bounces for Tanev. Up on the wing for
Again.
Lorenz. He can't get it out either. Lorenz back of the net.
Get it out.
Into the near corner. Played off the
There we
boards
go.
to center and out at center ice. Tanev knocked the stick out of the hands of one of the Senator players. That's the reaction.
Minutes
2:07
remaining.
to play. Leafs hanging on, and Olmark waving at the bench.
Foley's gone to the bench. The net is empty. Here we go.
For the Maple Leafs. Sanderson up on the wing. Giroux got it in, and it's backhanded into the Toronto end. Round on the boards, played by Perron to the blue line. Sanderson shot goes wide. Wrap-around effort down by Kachuk, goes into the corner. Kachuk taken there by Benoit to the far boards for Giroux.
138.
Giroux back to the point. Sanderson in for Perron to Giroux. Giroux with a wrist shot to the side of the net that Kachuk couldn't handle. Leafs get it free a little bit back of the net. Played around the boards, but not out. Giroux with it again. To the point for Sanderson. Shot coming, blocked. Puck deflected. Chipped out.
Go
at
Knies.
Knies racing after it. He won't get there, but he denies an icing.
Yeah.
Knies has it down in the corner.
Minute 11.
With 1:08 to go. Round on the open corner to the far side.
We have a minute remaining in the
Takes
third
defensive
period.
Side of things.
Leafs up 3-2.
Back of the net. Nylander chasing hard after his man. Shot in now by Zetterlund. Less than a minute. Puck on the boards far side for Tavares. Tavares for Tanev. Back of the net it goes. Centering puck comes in front. Nylander gets it up to an empty net. Please.
Off the
No,
post.
it goes wide. Icing will be called.
Can you believe we hit another post?
Sweet Mary Joseph.
I mean,
Just once.
it was from distance.
Could we enjoy
Could we just... We don't ask for a lot, Mr. Ralph. We really don't.
a huge face-off? I think the Leafs will get a break because Travis Green, I'm sure, will call
Have
a
to call
timeout.
timeout, yeah.
Did it hit the post or did
Willie
it go wide?
Nylander falling in the Leafs zone. Decides he's going to go for the empty net. It doesn't go. And he will stay out.
No timeout. Face off to the left. And the linesman moves in a little bit more. Here we go. Draw to the left of Stolars. And that didn't go correctly. 38.7 seconds left to go in the third period. Leafs up a goal. Draw one by Ottawa. Stutzla to the point to Sanderson. Played off the boards into the corner. 32 seconds left. Back around into the corner it goes, and the Senators get it back to the point. Here's Sanderson at drive. Blocked there, and the Leafs get it out. Willie! Now you got it, Willie!
Now you got it,
Now
Willie.
you got it! Penalty coming! Scores! Happy birthday! Happy days are here again. The sky is blue and clear again. We will drink a cup of cheer again. Happy days are here again.
Let's get rid of those bad days in between, though, as the Leafs are going to put this series away. A huge shot block by Scott Lawton.
Yeah.
And Willie
Huge play by
Nylander
Lawton.
picks up the rebound.
Better get an
into
assist
the
for that
high
block.
slot, and then busts around Jake Sanderson. Sanderson took Nylander down. So there would have been a penalty, or it might have been ruled a goal. Had Nylander not popped back onto his feet to put the backhander in, so the Leafs will now take a 4-2 lead with less than 20 seconds to go here in regulation time.
Senators get it up on the left wing, and a long shoot in is stopped and thrown into the corner by Stolars. 8 seconds left. Centering pass. Stolars. 2 saves. It comes in front of the net again, and time will run out. The Florida Panthers are coming to Toronto. The Maple Leafs slay some demons here tonight. The big boys show up. They play the style of play that the coach has implemented this year. Their goaltender comes up big when he has to, and the Leafs win it 4-2.
Maybe more importantly, the ghosts of 25 years ago beat the ghosts of the last 8 years. As the Leafs saw a 3-0 series lead fly to a 3-2 series lead coming into Game 6, but you give the Ottawa Senators credit. Travis Green did a marvelous job getting this team into the playoffs. I'm not ashamed to admit he got one of my votes for Coach of the Year.
I also agreed with you on that. I had him in my mix as well.
So a good stepping stone for Ottawa, and to stick with it, force the Leafs to a Game 6. I think they really got a lot of confidence, Joe, of pushing the Leafs to the "oh no, not again" moment from a Toronto standpoint. But I thought right from the start, the Matthews line came out, and we're strong in the Ottawa zone. But a huge goal, game-winning goal by Max Pacioretty. And one of the things we had talked about coming into this game, the fourth line has been good. We've seen Tavares and Nylander have moments. The Matthews line have had some moments. But the third line, you need something. And it turns out it was a makeshift third line. Pacioretty started with Tavares and Nylander. And then when he's out with Max Domi, he's able to score the winning goal. Max Domi is an overtime winner in this series, but no point bigger than that backhand assist to the high slot where Pacioretty snapped it home and scored the game-winning goal of this game and this series.
No idea when the next series would start. The Eastern Conference is complete. The Western Conference could have Game 7s on the horizon, depending on how the games settle there. But the Maple Leafs will play the Florida Panthers again.
And the Leafs are trying to stop the Florida Panthers, who have gone back-to-back seasons, obviously going to the Stanley Cup Finals. They look to make it 3 in a row. Tampa did it before the Florida Panthers did. And before that, you got to go all the way back to the mid-'80s when the Edmonton Oilers went to 3 straight finals. It'll be interesting to see. I think many people thought that the Florida Panthers had an easier time with the Tampa Bay Lightning than most of us would have guessed. So Aaron Ekblad will serve the second game of his suspension, and Anthony Stolarz shaking hands now with Claude Giroux, as they were teammates. Or no, I guess they weren't teammates in Florida, were they? Maybe Philadelphia.
Yeah, Philadelphia.
Yeah, years
probably.
ago.
Yeah.
But there's certainly some long faces of the Ottawa handshake lineup, but I think all of them, and this is my favorite part, to see the two goalies having a conversation, masks up, hands on each other's shoulders. And
there's no other sport that does this.
No.
Not in basketball, where you're just on a court. Not anywhere.
Yep.
This is the only sport that after running you through the boards for 7 or 6 or how many games, you are now, I'm going to give you a nice little tap and a handshake and possibly a hug and a kind word.
And another thing I think we should point out to this is that Anthony Stolarz gives up a bad goal to tie the game at 2, but less than 2 minutes later, the Leafs regain the lead. And how many times have you seen Anthony Stolarz bail his team out? And now I think it was great in a high-pressure moment that his guys bailed him out. So we're not going to be talking a whole lot about that goal anymore, but how the Leafs were able to rebound and score the game-winning goal. It was less than 2 minutes later that Max Domi found Max Pacioretty in the slot. I thought Willie Nylander, I know he's had the 2 goals, but it was his best game of the series as well. And we brought up Bobby McMahon, who was elevated back with Willie Nylander and John Tavares in the latter part of this game. But everything Craig Berube did in-game, the adjustments, ended up working out perfectly.
So it will be the Leafs and the Florida Panthers, the Ottawa Senator fans, saluting a team that really has struggled over the last decade. But now the future looks bright. And Travis Green doing a wonderful job with them. Now they will be vanquished on this occasion, but they will be heard from in future seasons to be sure.
I got nothing but respect for him. I've known, like you said, I've known him a long time. He's a great person and a great player.
Lastly, what did you like most about how you handled, I guess, the most tense moments in the third period?
Just the bounce back, just going through adversity. Like I said, just leaning on one another, not getting down on ourselves, staying even keeled, and finishing the job.
See you in round 2. Thank you.
Thank you.
Chris.
Great series, great third period. Brendan Shanahan likes the final result. May 1st, no need for a Mayday distress call in Toronto.
Well, well, finally defeat their demons. They win an elimination game. A strong effort, power play goal, strong performance from their fourth line, strong performance from their third line, strong performance from their stars. They pulled it out. They win the series, and they're ready for round 2, where they will face the Florida Panthers. Congratulations, Leafs fans. Congratulations to the Ottawa Senators on a strong season and a hard-fought series. You know they're on the come-up. They're going to be a tough team for years to come. But right now it's about the Toronto Maple Leafs in round 2. We'll see you guys in the next round. Make sure you keep it tuned in to Blue Snot, Go Leafs Go. Live remix. We did it, y'all. Before you leave, do all that like and subscribe and everything that it pleases the algorithm. We'll see you guys in the second round. Blue Snot, Go Leafs Go Live. Remix.